Hi everyone, this is Elisa from Anaya's Toybox Crochet, and I'm here to tell you what I've been up to. Thank you so much for coming. I do like showing off my makes, and I'm so glad you guys come to see them. You can find me on social media as Anaya's Toybox. I am on Facebook, on Instagram, Etsy, Ravelry, something. It's okay. Well, anyways, it's been a minute. I'll tell you why. Yeah, well, life has been happening. I haven't been having too much time for filming, and I haven't been having too much motivation for filming. And when we get to the whips, I'll tell you why. I don't have much to show you, even though it's been a while. Like the last time I filmed was in the beginning of January, and now it's like January 26th. I don't know when this will be up, but it is January 26th today. So it's been a minute and I have not much to show you. But I'm going to start off with this. This is Milo the hare. I did show it to you already in pieces. He is done. This is from the book right here. Enchanted Woodland Amigurumi. Here he is. He is cute. Don't get me wrong, he's cute. I don't like his ears. They're very floppy. And while I decided to follow the pattern and make it the way the pattern says, I don't like the flop. I know what I could have done differently, but I stuck to the pattern. If I had taken away the last row of the ears, then it wouldn't be so floppy. And I know this, and I knew it when I was doing it, but I thought, let's stick to the pattern and see what happens. Well, I stuck to the pattern, saw what happens, and I don't like the floppy ears. But it's done. I used a D hook or a 3.25 millimeter hook and worsted weight acrylic to make this. And this is what he looks like. He's done. He is cute. I just need to get over the floppy ears a little bit. It's not my thing. I don't like floppy ears on rabbits. I do love making rabbits though, just not ones with floppy ears. All right, so my next FO, this I used, I believe, a J hook, which is a 6 millimeter hook, and this is called the Present Day Shawl. So I took all my Kobu yarn that I have, and I'm holding it backwards. All my Kobu yarn that I have, except for one. I think I still have one. Well, I have more than one because remember last time I made a sweater, showed you the sweater I was making or the top I was making, and I bought more Kobu for that. So, well, I have more of those colors, but these two colors, all that I had left. I have used both of these colors before. I don't remember what the project was, but whatever I had left, which was a skein and a half of this and 2 skeins and a little bit of the lighter blue. This is, I believe, called Steel, and this is Lichen or Lichen, or I don't know how to pronounce it. But I really did enjoy making the shawl. This was a nice, fast, easy shawl to make. This is called the Present Day Shawl by Bagaudet. The link should be down below. And here's the stitch marker of where I was when I last showed it to you. So I finished that ball of yarn, and then the other 2 balls of yarn, that little bit of yarn, and the other 2 balls of yarn to finish making this. Whoop, what's going on with the colors? But anyways, it is a beautiful, beautiful stitch and very, very easy to do. This is called the Present Day Shawl, I believe I told you. I really, really did enjoy making it. I'm going to be making another shawl soon. I'm going towards the virus because I want to use up my crochet thread. Now these are just thoughts in my head. I don't know if I'm actually going to do it. So don't say, oh, the next thing, I can't wait to see her virus shawl. I might not make it. But I'm thinking I want to use up my crochet thread. And I don't know why I'm thinking like that. Like, for a long time, since I think September, I think of the yarn I have and fit the project to it, which is not completely abnormal, but it's been more about using up what I have. So I know I have a lot of crochet thread, which is number 10 crochet thread. I used to make amigurumi with it. I don't anymore. And I'd like to give it some love and use it up. I won't be able to use it up in one shell. But for some reason, I'm always thinking in terms of what project will go good with this yarn so I can finish up this yarn. Now, I used to think what will go well with this yarn because I love this yarn, but nowadays it's like, what will go good with this so I could finish it, like this one. I guess 2 years ago I got really overwhelmed with the amount of yarn I had, and now I am trying to work it down. I have not bought any worsted weight yarn in a bit, and I have holes in my pattern, in my stash, not just holes on my shelf, but there are colors I do not have any more of, and I have no intention of replacing them at the moment. I probably will eventually, but right now I don't want to replace them. And there are sometimes I look at a project, like an amigurumi project, I'm like, ooh, this looks good. I don't have the colors for it. Let's move on. Whereas it's always been, ooh, I like this project. And then I go through my stash and find the colors because I always had one of everything. I don't anymore. Anyways, moving on. Another yarn that I'm like, why am I not using this? This is creme cotton. I bought it the first year it came out when it was still limited edition. And I made a top for my son, which doesn't fit him anymore, with this yarn. And this is the leftover. And I decided I'll make a bag with it. I'm not sure this makes the best bag. It's very, very floppy. I intend to go to the fabric store and have it lined. I think I might even put interfacing on it because it's so floppy. I have 2 D-rings to attach. I think my mom gave me, like, I don't know. I have collected some handles, so it's going to go on this. But I want to put the zipper and the thing on first. And I have all the ends to weave in. All of it. I didn't touch it at all. So I will be working on this eventually. I don't know. I do these things and I'm like, it needs a lining, it needs a whatever, and it stays like that. Like, I do have a sewing machine. I do need to buy fabric for this though. I don't have any fabric that's good for this. But anyways, I will put the link down to the pattern of the square. I forget what it's called. I think it's Blossom something, but the link will be down below if you want to make this square. This is like, I'm sure you could find patterns like this. This is a different one. I just chose the square and I just attached it the way I thought would look good. I did want to make this when I was in Montreal and I was making squares with some black and orange yarn, and I wanted to make this, but I didn't have a zipper big enough. I still don't have a zipper big enough, but I do have a fabric store nearby, so I'll go look. Hopefully I'll find a zipper big enough. Hopefully. But anyways, this is not done. It is a whip, but the crochet part is done. There's nothing left for me to crochet. I do have to weave in the ends. I do have to put the lining. I do have to attach the handles, but there's no part of crochet left in this. It's done with the crochet part. All right, so the last whip. I bought this yarn right here from Hobbii 2 years ago. Can you see it? I hope I'm not pulling the stitches off. Right here. This is Black Friday Viscose. And I bought it not this Black Friday, but the Black Friday before. So 2023's Black Friday. And I started a project with it. I bought a pattern, which it's also online, but I'm not going to talk about it too much. I bought a pattern. I did try to do the free version, and I felt like there wasn't enough information, so I thought there'd be more information if I paid for it, and there wasn't. So when I say information, is you start off a certain way. It doesn't say if this is the bottom, if this is the top. There's no mention. Is this a top-down top? Is this a bottom-up top? I'm making this piece, but what does it belong as I'm making it? There's no mention of that. And I struggled with it. Sometimes I thought maybe it was the top of the scarf, the top of the top. I don't know what else to say. That's a lot of tops in one sentence. Sometimes I thought it started off at the bottom, but I really didn't know. I read ahead the pattern. I still couldn't figure out what part I was making. So that was frustrating. I was also not in a very happy place then. But I continued. I thought, okay, I'll find out at the end whether this is the top or the bottom. I'll figure it out. Just let's trust the pattern and go on. Now the pattern also had no stitch counts. So I did do a gauge swatch for that pattern. And I reached gauge, but there was no stitch count. And this also, it was like a stitch sampler, like this one where there's some rows. Oh, you can't see it here, but you can see it here. Where there is some rows of solid and then some rows of something open. It was like a stitch sampler. And there was lots of different stitches being used, but if you made a mistake, it didn't work out. So at one point I had like 11 on one side and then 13 on the other side, and I was like, that's enough. And then I put it away and I thought I'll try again later. Well, again came after I finished my daughter's top. I took out that yarn and frogged it to where I thought I made the mistake. But again, there's no stitch count to all the rows, so I wasn't sure. And I worked it up again and I was making the same mistake. I frogged it even more. I was making the same mistake, or I was making another mistake. I was making a mistake because the two sides were not lining up. And because there was no stitch count in the pattern, I couldn't tell which row I messed up on. So I ended up frogging the entire thing. And I found another pattern. This is called the open shells. Wait, let me just double check. I feel like it's the open. No, it's scalloped summer top. I'm glad I looked that up because I was about to say something totally wrong. Scalloped summer top. Now this top, this pattern itself, it's a free pattern. I will link it down below, but it is not size inclusive. I did not make a gauge swatch for this top. This is what it looks like right now. This is not according to the pattern. I'll tell you why in a bit. Like, first of all, it is not size inclusive. This has small, medium, large. So I thought, okay, I could wear a large. I did undo some of the stitches. Okay, I'll have to fix that later. But anyways, I thought, okay, I could kind of wear a large, so I'll figure it out. I did not do a gauge swatch, so this might not be the pattern's fault. It could be mine because I don't know if I reached gauge. This does recommend an I hook. Was it an I or H? No, a H hook, which is a 5mm hook for DK yarn, this is DK. This is the Black Friday viscose. It does recommend an H hook, and I am doing it with a J hook, which is a 6mm hook, so 1mm bigger. I didn't do a gauge swatch, so I don't know if I met gauge. But regardless, it was not fitting. The large size was not fitting. According to the pattern, I made it. It wasn't fitting. Then I frogged it, and then I tried it again with a little bit. I frogged it up to here, like restarted it, frogged it all the way, put more chains, did it again, still was tight. And then I frogged it again all the way. So I got up to the arms both times. And then I realized, okay, this isn't working. And then I frogged it all the way. So the first time I made it according to the pattern, that didn't work. I frogged it all the way. Second time I added some stitches, worked it all the way to the arms, and then found out, no, it's still tight. So then I started it again, and I added a lot more stitches, and then I put it, I made like maybe up to here, put it around my neck, and it's like off the shoulders, which was not the look I was going for. So I frogged it again. So just so you realize, this from here to there is about 3 or 4 balls of yarn. I used those same 3 or 4 yards of ball, 3 or 4 of those skeins of yarn on the first top that didn't work out. So I frogged that top about 3 or 4 times. No, yeah, 3 times, maybe 4. Okay. Then I have frogged this one 3 times. I made the neck up. I finished up one whole skein of yarn. This is 50 grams of yarn in each skein. Finished one skein of yarn, put it on, found it was off the shoulders, frogged it again, and then this time I didn't frog it again after that. I kept the, like the second time. So I kept, I frogged up till, no, I didn't frog, I frogged it all. And then I chained the same amount as I did the second time I frogged. So not the one according to the pattern, but I added some stitches and I chained till then. Then I did this row like the pattern, and then I did a row of increases to get more stitches. Yes, that's what I did. I did a row of increases to get more stitches, and since then I have worked it up. It is not like the rows for this part is according to pattern. I think I added one row just to make sure that there's enough room in my armpits. I added one row to this whole part, but according to pattern, the way it was, I did it. It's just got a bigger stitch count than the pattern called for. I had to figure out how to do the arms and make it big enough, and I had to do some calculations because I did not have the same amount of shells as the pattern said. So I did the arms accordingly. Over here, I did not do, this is a free pattern, so I'm just going to mention, there was short rows on the back. I didn't do that because, I don't know, maybe I'll regret it, but I didn't like the look of the armholes of this pattern. So I chose not to do that. I might regret it. I might not. I don't know. But anyways, here it is. This is 9 skeins of yarn. This is the 10th one, so I'm at the end. I don't know if it's long enough. I may want it longer. And this yarn is not available anymore because it was a limited edition Black Friday yarn. And when I was working on the other top, which I started in September, I was thinking about going on Black Friday to see if it came back. I forgot to do that, so I don't have access to this yarn anymore. I went to the Hobbii website and looked up viscose yarns, and they don't have anything in 3-weight. They have two-weight viscose, 2-weight bamboo, whatever, but they don't have 3 weights. So that's not going to work. So then I went to Premier, and they have this yarn called Bamboo Fair. I believe it's a mix of cotton and bamboo, which is not the same as viscose, but bamboo will work, right? I looked it up. They don't have any colors close to this color. Like, I know it's not going to be exact color. Obviously, I'm not going to get the exact color from a different place, but I want to get something similar enough that it doesn't look odd. It looks like I did it. There was a thought process going into it, and I did it on purpose. I don't want it to look like it was an accident. I just put together whatever I could put together. So I didn't find anything in the Bamboo Fair. Truboo, I found perhaps 2 colors that might work with it. I have not decided to buy it yet. I'm waiting to finish this ball of yarn. I'm going to try it on, and if I think the length is fine, I'm just going to leave it. If the length is not fine, then I'll get another ball of yarn. But this is it. Right now it comes to my waist. I would like it to go down a little bit more. This does have some positive ease. It does have quite a bit of positive ease, actually. I don't know how much because I didn't look. But it does have positive ease, but it still looks good. It drapes very nicely, this yarn. I love this yarn. I can't use wool. I'm allergic to wool, so I am enjoying using these nicer, like not acrylic, but nicer alternatives, which is the viscose, the bamboo, the lyocell, the ones that are plant-based. I do enjoy working on it. I know that they're more splitty than people like, but I have not found that to be too much of a problem, probably because I'm used to splittiness because I use small hooks with thick yarn when I make amigurumi. I don't know. I'm just not finding, this yarn is not splitting at all for me. Not at all. The Truboo, I made a top with it before, and that one did split a little bit, but not enough to make me say I'm never going to use that. Kobu, I loved using the Kobu yarn. That was gorgeous yarn. And I just made 2 projects with it. Like I made my daughter's top, which if I remember, I'll put a picture up right here or right here. And this one, I did enjoy using this yarn. This yarn is, I'm showing it to you backwards again. Yep, I am. This yarn was absolutely gorgeous. I love, love, love. I am a little scared. I'm right now going through a de-stash, so I'm not going to buy yarn. But the Kobu yarn is like, I went online brand a couple of days ago to check out the Trubu and whether they have colors that are similar. The Kobu yarn, it's discounted by a lot, which kind of makes me scared that they're planning to discontinue it, because Lion Brand just discontinues everything really quickly. I hope not. But if not, I did enjoy. If they do, at least I enjoyed making this shawl, making that top, and I have 2 more balls of the green color and 1 ball of a tan color, so I'll make something with those and hopefully, yeah. I don't know. I'm probably not going to be buying another bit of yarn, although I don't mind having that on my stash. It's just, I have a shelf right here that is all acrylic yarns. And I really, really want to free up this shelf for other stuff. I have yarns in other places, but this shelf, I want to free it up for other stuff. I have been selfish with space. I have 2 kids and I have a husband, and my yarn is taking up too much space in our small shared area. So trying to get rid of it. I do want to get to the point, and I don't know if that will happen, because I like seeing a project and getting to it right away. I'm not the type of person who's like, oh, I don't have the yarn for this project. If I don't have the yarn for this project, either I will make do or find another project. But I do want to, instead of doing that, get to the point where I see a project, I like it, I go shopping for yarn for that project, which means that I am not storing this yarn, because I don't have space to store this yarn. I'd like to get to that point. I don't know. It's not the way I have worked at all for any piece, any type of art that I have done. When I was painting, I needed to have all the colors with me, so I was ready to go whenever I wanted to paint. When I was making jewelry, I had to have all the types of beads I needed with me, so that whenever I needed it, it was there. I did not have to go and buy, so I have a stash of beads. I have a stash of yarn. I have a stash of paint. What else do I have a stash of? I have a stash of papers from when I was scrapbooking. And it is taking up a lot of space, and I need to get it down. So like right now I'm into crochet. I need to finish my crochet. The paints I'm not too worried about, because my daughter paints, so she can use that paint. It's fine. The beads, I'd like to get rid of the beads. I would. So there's the beads, and then there's this. I should make some beaded shawls. Ooh, maybe I'll make some bead with the crochet thread if I figure out how to work beads, because I have a lot of beads. That's something to think about. I need to just work down my stash of stuff, because I have a lot of stuff. And whether it be beads or yarn, right now the yarn takes up the most amount of space, because beads are tiny. They don't take up as much space even though you have a lot. Yarn is not tiny. Paper takes up space, but I've been using it and trying not to buy. I've been giving them away. No, I still have a lot of paper. Never mind. I still have a lot of paper I need to get rid of, but the yarn is what I have the most of, and I need to work it down. I'll feel better about my stash when I work it down, and I'm going to work towards becoming a project-based crafter instead of a yarn-based crafter. I don't even know. I'm making this up as I'm going along. This isn't really a thing. When I say a project-based crafter, I really mean somebody who finds a project, likes the project, buys the yarn for it. And when I say a yarn-based crafter, again, I am making this up. This is not a thing. Is you already have the yarn, you look at the yarn, you say, ooh, I want to work with this yarn, which is what I do. And then try to find a pattern that will go with the yarn, which is exactly what I do right now. Like, I wanted to work with this yarn, I found a project that will go with it. I want to work towards becoming project-based. Anyways, I have been talking about nothing. Can you imagine 3 weeks? I haven't seen you guys in 3 weeks. This is all I did. It's all this frogging. I'm telling you, it's not that I haven't been crocheting. It's all the frogging. I'm almost finished with this ball of yarn. This is 50 grams of yarn. Less than 50 grams because I've worked up a lot of it. And I might be buying some Tribu to add to this. I hope not, because it'd be nice to have a solid color top. It would really be nice, because right now I have this one, which is solid. Meaning, when I say solid, I mean using one type of yarn for it. So this is not different colorways. This is the same colorway all the way through. This is one. I have the Tribu top that I made, the Tribu sweater that I make and never wear because I made the sleeves wrong. That one is also made with one color, but the rest of it, it's like I'm mishmash. I buy this yarn, I don't have enough, I can't get more, so then I start saying, okay, which ones will work together? I'd like to not do that with this, but I don't know. We'll see. If it's not long enough, I'm not going to wear it. So I do need to make sure that I wear it. And if that means to get another color of yarn and add it to it, then that's what I'm going to do. It's just what I'm going to do. Anyways, I've been talking too much. I don't know when I'm going to put this up. I have to edit it first, and then we'll see. It'll get posted at some point. But it is Sunday, January 26th when I'm filming it. And I hope you guys are enjoying your New Year. I never said Happy New Year last time because I don't know. I just went straight to the yarn talk and forgot, oh, I should greet people. Yes, so Happy New Year, and also Happy Chinese New Year for those of you who celebrate. I do have Wednesday off and I'm looking forward to it because one day off at work is nice. Yeah. So next time, hopefully I'll have more to show you and I won't have so much of a frogging story to tell you. Oh, by the way, I did mention that I'm using, sorry about that. I live in a city. I am using a 6mm yarn for this. This is 3-weight viscose yarn. It doesn't say viscose from what. So I don't think it's bamboo. Because I think if it was viscose from bamboo, it'd say viscose from bamboo. It's some other tree pulp. But I love it. It's a nice yarn. And I think it looks good on me. I'm not going to try it on and show it to you yet. But at some point, I'll show it to you. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this rambly video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to hear more from me, please subscribe. Bye.